Border Barrels back for another AFL bloody podcast.
Yeah.
AFL and SuperCoach podcast. See how we did this week. Now we're getting straight into it. Gratz, who were your in-outs for this week?
Well, the first out was Hudson
Yes.
because for those who may not have listened to our adjacent beer podcast first, we're missing 1/3 of the pod. The 1/3 of the pod that has just recently entered the top 1,000 overall too.
994.
That dickhead.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, I've entered the top 35,000, so
You've
watch
done
out.
no. You're up to about 31, aren't you?
Oh, there you go.
No, well, I'm going to find that. But while we're looking for that, Huddo's down in Melbourne watching the Swans and the Bombers yesterday. So as much as we like it when he's miserable, unfortunately, for those who do play along and think, God, I love hearing him rant about Essendon, you won't get that, but you also won't get him going on about him like they're going to win the flag all of a sudden. So that's a positive.
But I'm actually pretty excited for him because he had box seats for that. Went down there with a couple of mates, and it was a big do. I think he went to a function, and Sheeds was there. Sheeds, good on your Sheeds.
So
and had a good time. So it would have been a good one to bloody well go to.
Well, we've got the rank here. So Huddo is currently 992nd.
Jeez.
With a projection for this round of over 2,600.
That's huge.
Meaning that he may be going up even higher. My goal for the year was, after the buys, to get inside the top 10,000, which my score last week of 24-14, which was 4 points less than you, who I played. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I've moved up to 9,576.
Geez, that's
overall,
all right.
Which I'm very happy with. That was my goal, and I've gotten there.
Well, I have no goals, and I am 31,988.
But I reckon you're going up again because you're getting good scores and you're making good trades.
Yeah,
so you asked me who I
consistency.
went in and out.
Yep.
Basically, I got to start from last week. So I brought in Christian Petrarca last week. I brought in Christian
That's a
Petrarca
master stroke.
at 487k.
Yep.
Only because Darcy Parish wasn't playing. So I think this is good Supercoach advice. So if you break down your season by goals you've got, so long-term goals and short-term goals. My short-term goal was after the buys to get inside the top 10,000. Darcy Parish being out, as well as Zach Butters being out, and Braden Pruce being out, really did ruin the plans a little bit. So I thought, okay, so I've done Pruce to Sean Darcy, 115 or 117, I think it was, first up. That was good. I thought I'll chuck Butters on my bench for now because I've got 4 rookies that can go mid-forward cover. That's fine. But Parish, I don't want 2 rookies covering premiums. Parish is going to miss another week. So I thought, I still want to bring in Tim English for one of Butters or Heaney.
Yep.
I need the money to do it. Parish down to Petrarca left me with 161k in the bank, and it was a calculated risk because Christian Petrarca has not been in good form.
Yep.
He pulls out a 97 first game up, which was fine because, as I said, that helped me get inside the top 10,000, which was my first goal.
Yep.
For the run home, then it's a little bit more of a risk because you're hoping that he will just regain some form.
Yep.
And did he regain some form yesterday? Or did he regain some form yesterday?
bloody hell, did he.
So Petrarca went huge. It ended on a huge score of
189.
And I believe his percentage of teams has gone down a little bit over the last month too because he did have like a 55 and a 70 or something like that in there.
Yep.
So Simon looks
So
up those numbers.
Currently at 33%. So, there has been a recent... Since round 9, it has gone up a little bit.
Has it gone up? Maybe because people were taking the same risk.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was interesting. Early on, he started 11% of teams he started in. So
so it went the other way.
yeah, it did go the other way, but I wonder if that's people were just buying consistency because that's sort of why I went for Merritt because he's not going to score massive every week, except he did this week as well. But
his floor is 90.
Yeah, he's quite consistent. So
Which is
that's
fine.
exactly right.
But this week, my moves. I haven't made it yet, and I may still not.
Yeah,
We're recording this at Sunday at 2:49 p.m. Richmond and West Coast are currently in play. I have Zach Butters on my field with Morris Rowley Jr. as the emergency. If Morris can get to a respectable score by half-time, I will maintain that as it is, make no trades, and go into next week with 5 still remaining. If Morris falls apart and is on less than 20 by half-time, I'm going to make a calculated risk, and I'm going to trade Zach Butters to Dylan Moore.
that's pretty big.
Now, I'm going to do that for the reason that, again, I'm trying to maximize my scores each week. That will actually give me more money because Butters is 30K more than what Dylan Moore is.
Yeah.
Moore actually averages more than Butters does over the season. He has more... Don't know if he has more tons, but he's got more scores over 90.
Yep.
So you're getting a bit of consistency there. The third option is to not bring in Dylan Moore and just chuck Connor McDonald in and hope Connor McDonald, because he's on my bench.
Connor McDonald!
Who the fuck was that guy?
Who the fuck?
Yeah, and hope he goes a little bit better. But I don't know. I've got a few options and I have to make that call while the podcast is on over the next 20 minutes.
Jeez, pressure's on. Well,
Pressure is on. What move did you make?
so I traded out, I'm just remembering now, Rosas.
Yes.
Rosas. And who was the other one? Dacos.
Oh!
And I did say when I traded him out, this is the same with Caniglio or whatever his name is. What?
Cornelio, yeah.
Whatever. So both of those guys, I'm like, look, I don't have to trade them out, but I'm trading them out to upgrade. So I upgraded to Steel, and then I also traded in Massimo D'Ambrosio. So he did really well, but he's on my bloody bench.
That's right, because the thing is, I didn't bother because I've got Weir and he's going pretty well.
Yep.
But you've got both Weir and Massimo.
Yep.
So for the rest of the year, you run out of trades and you cop an injury in your back line, you're pretty confident you've got coverage from one of those two boys.
Well, yeah, that's right. And that's exactly what happened with Daniel Rich with his hamstring there. So I've got 6 trades left. I got Steele in for the same reason I got Brayshaw in. So Brayshaw, then he had a cracker season last season. Then he got injured. So when he came up, he was quite cheap. I think he was in the 400s or something like that. I thought, well, odds are he's a proven player. He's pretty good. So I'm gonna pick him up cheap. So Steele is cheaper than say Laird or someone like that, or Oliver. I also went with Steele because I feel like I do need pods at this point. And as an example, 6.2% of people
for
have
Jack
him.
Steele.
Yeah, for Jack Steele.
Well, that's everyone that had him traded him out, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to be trading people back in at this point with all the injury carnage that's been going on.
Absolutely. So I'm just saying, yep, I have the confidence that he's going to at least give me 100 every game, and he did 107 first game. I think that should be all right. As what I'm doing next, I'm not too sure. So I'm hoping English comes back.
They believe he will be fit for this coming week.
Good stuff. Rich might be the one that I might have to trade. But that being said, between the two, are they rookie? They're both rookies?
Yeah, with Rich, I reckon you can nearly hold it if they say it's a 2-week injury.
Yeah.
Anything more than that, I reckon it's...
Well, I was watching, and he didn't look super worried. He was like,
Zorko.
Oh, yeah.
He was nearly crying.
Yeah. And just continues on with Hamstring Awareness Month.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have to call this one Hamstring Awareness Month too.
Yeah.
I was aware of my hamstrings yesterday.
Yeah.
Footy, by the way.
Yeah, well, there you
I
go.
do a fair bit of stretching.
There you go. No, so that's basically what I'm doing with in-outs. We might hit the intro there somewhere so we can gather our thoughts and hopefully get some sort of footy up on some sort of device.
Big barrel. A big barrel. Right into the center of the stadium.
I don't know.
It's a barrel brownie. You don't see it very often in modern footy. Duncan to really line up Canidia Park. He's onto it. Has it got the legs? I reckon it has. He'll caress it down someone's throat.
Still trying to get KO going. We've got Wi-Fi going, but then it's like, what's your password? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, Joe, we might do, which we've never done before. Well, no, we have done before. Even though we just have played our intro, we might have to take a little commercial break. Hit pause, and during the commercial break, we'll sort it out.
Oh, I'm not. Nah.
You don't know how to do that either.
Nah. Well, I don't want to because last time we buggered that up. Yeah, I know. Last time it doesn't really matter.
Look, I'll just get it up on my phone.
Yeah, and just put the bloody...
But you're going to have to tell me the
sounder.
scores. I think I'm going to have to stop it to do that trade I might have to do, remember?
Okay, yeah. Well,
But that's all right.
Yeah, I can
This is good. This is we're listening back to this pure, organised chaos.
Yes, so I've got fan footy up. Is that what I need to have up for you?
You need to have
Gratz?
that up for me,
Okay,
yeah.
very good. So Short is having a bit of a dip. No, he's not. Well, Dusty's going all right, 52. Short is on 29 currently. So
he on, sorry?
good stuff. Who? Short? 29.
If you click the little SuperCoach tab there, it'll order that. There you go. It'll order them in their scores.
Oh, that's bloody changed things a bit. He's
Hasn't
gone down
it?
the ladder.
Oh.
Goodness. But actually,
He's a bit of a worry. Should we be worried about him?
Yes, we should be, because that's the other one that I would probably consider that I would be worried about. Oh, there you go. That's exactly the same.
The
How
hard
good's
thing,
that?
the hard thing at the moment is how many trades you've got left. So, I have 5 at the moment, which I think is pretty decent.
Yep.
If you've got 6 or more, you're doing well. But generally, most years after the buys, I have about 6 or 7. Right.
Yep.
That's with 30 trades though.
Yeah.
Which I've already used because we had the extra ones this year. And also, we can be interactive. People can message us in.
Yes.
I would like to know, anyone out there that plays SuperCoach and listens, will you be finishing the season with a boost left like I will be? Because I must be the only idiot that didn't use them all. And I can't now because I've got 5 trades left. I can't do 3 in a week. So I'm just going to... I should be able to trade it to someone in need.
Yeah, that's right. Donate it. But it's one of those things you probably don't know. You don't realise that you should have used it until, this time of the season. You thought, I'll leave it up my sleeve. You never know. It could be a couple of injuries, but...
Well, I screwed up. I meant to use it one day and got the starting time of a game confused and didn't actually do the trade I needed to do at the time.
Yeah, well, when around the time I got Rioli and a couple of others in, I was actually meant to trade in Oliver as well, but didn't. It was a similar situation.
You still don't have him?
Well, no, I still don't have him because I haven't had the opportunity, and I think that's what stuffed me. But anyway.
Now, we usually go game by game with this, and we will. We'll chuck through a couple of game by games.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
We'll just sort of mention... We've sort of mentioned the trades that we've done and everything, but...
Yeah.
First game was on Thursday night.
Brisbane Lions, 108. Western Bulldogs, 67. Now, the result didn't really bother me too much because as far as it didn't sort of affect... not that I'm worried about the SuperCoach result, but still, all the players that we tend to have, McRae, Bont, Dunkley, all scored quite highly.
And Neil.
Yep. Oh, and then on the Brisbane side, Neil scored very well, and he was my VC, so that was good. Rich did come off with a hamstring injury, but yeah, it didn't really affect scores too much. So
tell you what, who's got a leg up? Those smart people that brought in Tom Liberatore.
Yes, well he was smashing it. I was watching fan footy and I was watching him jump up and all the little.
He's kicking goals from the
things going on.
boundary, as well. Like he's just in career best form, which. If you look at him, as Huddo says each week, he looks like he can't move.
Yeah.
So it's incredible how good he's gotten. So basically, he's at the point in his footy career where he's old enough to know the right spots to move to and can read the play. And because he's like so strong over the footy and can tackle so well, it's just all coming together for him.
Well, speaking of the first couple of sentences that you put there together, it reminds me of a local footballer I know by the name of Zach Grattan. Last time I watched you play, you were the same. You've hit that point in your career. Like it looks like you're moving slower than everyone else, but you're in the right spots. It's like you're not panicking.
If only you could put that part of your game when you're about like 20, 21.
Oh,
when
yeah,
you're
you'd be amazing.
Peak.
Well,
that's why the guys that are elite are doing that already.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting. Sorry, again, another NBA reference. Luka Doncic, as well as Nikola Jokic, which are 2 European players. But Nikola Jokic...
You're joking.
Yeah. But Nikola Jokic is like... He would lose a bloody... I don't know. He's slow as shit. That's basically what I'm saying. Both him and Luka are slow as shit. But they just know where they need to be and that sort of thing. And they're just elite. They run... metaphorical rings around everyone on the court. So that it's a massive thing. And it's kind of like, having wisdom in your younger years. So if 21-year-old Simon knew what he knew now, he'd be bloody smashing it. Tell you what.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
The age and wisdom thing.
I know. It's crazy. So anyway.
But I also had Neil as vice captain. And I took that and I had one mate say to me, are you actually kidding? Oliver's playing Adelaide. Oliver, who in his last couple of games literally averages 200 against Adelaide.
Yeah.
And yes, that's true. However, as I've lamented on this podcast many times, I've not nailed captain scores this year. And
neither have I.
What I did nail was, I usually go McRae all the time. Always go McRae VC.
Yeah.
And I never go Neil as captain. But my don't do Neil as captain because he burns me every time rule doesn't apply to vice captain.
Yeah.
And I had a theory that after last week, they'll be very disappointed after performing very poorly against Melbourne, and Neil would come out and play a good game, which he did. So I took that as a positive, banked the 135 points, times 2, and then Oliver came out and scored, I think it was 176,
Yeah,
maybe?
he scored a lot, but yes.
But that's fine. No regrets. No regrets.
No regrets. No, that's all right. Petrarch did as well. Did well as well. But yeah, so that was that game. The only other thing to come out of that game was, a couple of things regarding Mr. Hipwood.
Oh, yes.
So shaved his head or something at some point, and he dyed his hair black or something, which is weird.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It makes one of those blokes you look at and you're like, ooh, not too sure about that.
But did you see the incident?
I did see the incident. So
The strangest incident to ever go before a tribunal.
yeah, so basically they're running into the forward line, and he's basically shoved his defender into the umpire, taken them both out, then gone around and just jumped up like nothing happened, said, I'm open.
Got the mark, kicked the goal.
Got the mark, kicked the goal.
But contact with an umpire.
Yeah.
It was forced contact with an umpire, but it was almost one of those situations where someone in a mob will say, well, I didn't pull the trigger. It's like, but you made him pull the trigger. Yeah, but I didn't kill the guy.
Yeah.
It was basically that.
Yeah, so hang on. So who are they? They're not... Are they saying Hipwood's in trouble?
Yes.
Or? Okay, yeah.
He's
right.
before the tribunal.
Yeah.
Because if you pushed... Well, no, it's not pushed because you wouldn't push... If you purposely ran into an umpire at the same force that player did,
Yeah.
why would you do that other than you're in a fair bit of trouble, really?
Yeah.
But Hipwood pushed the player directly into the umpire, and you'd have to argue he saw him.
Yeah, well, and even if he didn't, it's like, well, what was he thinking anyway? Because, like, it wasn't a... I remember, I don't know, Wayne Carey or something explaining, or someone explaining how Wayne Carey sort of... If you put a hand in someone's back and push, it's a push in the back. But if you start with your forearm and sort of extend, it's not a push or something like that. But he flat out just pushed him.
Yeah.
So I don't know why another umpire didn't call just push in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know why they let it go on, or why they like that, because they would have seen it, because all of a sudden he was like ridiculously open. He's taking the mark. They call it back. Nah, mate, push in the back. Or the umpire that got literally pushed in the back.
Yeah.
Why didn't he call anything?
I don't know, but I don't know how they're going to...
Too busy eating grass.
I really don't know how they're going to adjudicate it at the tribunal. It's going to be a heavy fine, no suspension, is my...
Yeah,
prediction.
I guess, but I reckon he's going to get off, because I don't know if the glove don't fit. But
Yeah.
I wonder if they can prove, because he could easily just say, "Oh, look, I just pushed him. I didn't. It wasn't my intent for him to run into an umpire."
Yeah.
But anyway,
What to get...
that's why AFL players should start wearing body cams.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they put the GoPro on the boys at training, and it's pretty... Like, the skills are unreal.
Yeah, I think were they doing that with goal umpires for a period there?
Yeah.
And they looked ridiculous. They had the head cam, I think it was.
Yeah, do you know that way back in the day, I'm talking 15 years ago, Parkway Drive used to take in turns each night of which band member wore the head cam.
Yeah.
Then they actually started putting it on the security guards.
Yeah,
And then they got one of their mates who was one of the roadies to wear it, but he was just a bloke that would like come out and stage dive and jump off the speakers and stuff during the set with the head cam on.
Yeah, right.
And some of the footage they've got is unreal.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
It's 2007 quality, but it's still really
Oh,
good.
yeah, but sometimes, like as we've seen with your phone, when you take footage of gigs, it's kind of cool.
It's 1995.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, anyway.
All right, we'll move on. Oh, this was a bit of a bummer for our SuperCoach scores. So, St Kilda Saints 93, Gun Blues 78.
You say that, but you say that like someone that doesn't own Jack Sinclair.
Yeah, but you might remember, or you might not remember.
Oh.
So when I got Doc, and who else did I get? I got Doc and someone else. Anyway, I was going to go Laird and Sinclair, and didn't. But I decided the logic was that Laird and Sinclair, their teams weren't going as well, so they might have a few blowouts and might not score as high. Incorrect. Incorrect.
Well, Sinclair tagged the last 2 weeks, and look what happens when he's not tagged.
Yeah, well, exactly. So he's done very well there.
Unpopular opinion also, from what I read online, I really enjoyed this game. just as a game of football, because skill level, very high. Some of the kicks that were being hit were incredible.
Yep.
End to end, pretty free-flowing.
Yep.
Momentum swings, very close. I fell asleep 3 times between the end of the third quarter and with 10 minutes to go in the last quarter. It was a long week with a crazy toddler. And didn't have many good sleeps at all.
Yeah.
But I had to wait it out because I had to see what was going to happen.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And I couldn't go to bed until I knew what the result was going to be, which was with only 2 minutes left. So I didn't say the last 2 minutes. But yeah, really enjoyable Friday night game of footy. And you'll love this. 2 things that made it feel like it was an old school game of footy that I was watching.
I think I know what you're referring to.
So one being that the HD channel wasn't working correctly on my TV. So I had to watch it on the other one, which felt like it was 1998.
Yep.
The other one was that during the game, a couple of times, they actually panned to members of the crowd with binoculars.
Oh, there you go.
Which was such an old school thing to do at the footy.
No, that's awesome.
So I was watching it through the old grainy footage with the pairs with binoculars and packed house.
Well, there you go. Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say at all.
It was just a real old school footy feel.
I was going to say, were St Kilda wearing throwback jerseys?
And that.
Yeah, they were.
They looked great.
They were, weren't they?
And
they look heaps better.
Didn't mind Carlton with the orange.
Yeah, so that is to do.
Okay, so this is a bit confusing. This is it's Carlton Respect.
Yes, they have a social media channel who someone we know used to run.
Oh. Can we name them or I don't know?
I don't know.
No, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I
I was aware of it anyway.
The interesting thing there, that I believe it was a domestic violence awareness thing.
Yep.
However, at the start of the game when they came in to do the toss, Jack Seal came in with Jay Gresham. Jay Gresham is Indigenous, for those who may not have known.
Yep.
Brought in Paddy Cripps, and they brought in some Indigenous sticks and did a little exchange, like it was the Indigenous week. So then I got a little bit confused as to what the Respect thing was. Someone pointed out that they were 2 separate things. One was the Carlton Respect domestic violence awareness. The other was NAIDOC week.
Yes, okay, fair enough.
So that may make some sense. I can't confirm that.
Yeah.
But confused me at the start because I thought I knew what it was. Then I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But didn't mind the navy blue and orange.
No, I'll tell you what. I didn't realise that I enjoyed those colours until GWS have pretty much got there with the deep charcoal and the orange. I think they're really cool colours.
Did you know that what's interesting about Carlton with orange? They introduced orange just as a third colour to use every now and then years ago.
Yeah.
They actually had a Nike shirt with an orange tick.
Yeah.
The funny part was, Steven Silvani, classic Blues player.
Yeah.
He was actually the list manager at GWS, came back to Carlton as a list manager, ended up recruiting a bunch of ex-GWS players. Then they brought the orange in. So people were saying, okay, so you've got so many ex-GWS players, you just bring in the orange in with them.
Yeah, right. There you go. Well,
so it actually was coincidental, but it didn't feel like that.
No, very good. So, SuperCoach, who do we have? So, I think... So, I've got Doc, you don't.
No.
You've got Hewitt.
Yes.
You've got Cripps.
Yeah. Now, I saw some frustration at Cripps' game. 6th highest score on the ground, only 98. But 98 as the 6th highest score on the ground never happens, so don't stress if you've got him.
Yeah, if I had more trades, I'd be frustration trading because I'm just like, I'm sick of this bloke. He should be scoring 150. That's what I reckon. But anyway, he's going
like Jack Sinclair did.
Yes.
If you've got him.
Well, there you go. So, Steele 107. Owens helped me out because he wasn't playing. Yeah, he was my captain.
And you had Petrarca looped on the bench with him.
Yes, so that was very good. I got some assistance with that. Thanks, Gratz.
Now, I need a little update, if you could, for me, please. I just saw Morris Rioli kick a goal.
Oh, right.
I just need a live score update.
Live score update. We have, this one or the other one?
So we need Jaden Short score.
Okay, Short, 51.
That's good.
Yep.
6 minutes left in the second quarter. Morris Rioli Jr.
22.
I said if he was under 30, I was going to risk it on Connor McDonald. I've got 10 minutes to do it.
Right.
All right, I'll give it 5 more minutes.
Yeah, there we go. We'll keep updated. Gibcus, 13. Poor bugger. Anyone else significant from that game, Gratz, that we had?
No.
No, very good. So the ones to watch, or the ones that you should have, Sinclair.
Yep.
Is one for sure.
Easy to spot with his mullet.
How did Walshy go?
Oh, sorry, I do have Walsh.
Yes.
Second highest scorer for the Blues behind Sard, I believe.
Yeah. Sard. Now, let's talk. I don't think we've spoken too much about that. How is Sard in the top couple of scorers for Carlton every week?
They just give him the ball.
Yeah, but how many... sorry, that sounded like you asking me a question. So what's the go? Because I wouldn't imagine many people have Sard in their Supercoach.
No,
team.
but he's a great pod. And he was a pod a few years ago. His last year at Essendon, I don't think he was too crush hot. And then his first year at Carlton, you wouldn't do it. He's basically been a barometer for Carlton's form
Yeah, fair
this
enough.
season. So if you can get him, he's a great... If you need a pod, so needing a pod's different to wanting a pod.
Yeah.
Needing a pod is when your team is very vanilla, you've got all the same players, and you want to go up in the ranks with a calculated risk.
Yeah.
That's when you do that.
Yep. No, very good. All right, we'll move on to the next game because I hear you want to go on a bit of a rant about this one. Essendon Bombers, 95. Sydney Swans, 86.
The only rant's going to be that I can't wait to get rid of Isaac Heaney.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be Heaney to English unless Butters misses another game.
Yeah.
If Butters is back, I'm going to keep Butters because I think at this point I'm just going to play Connor McDonald if Morris can't get to 30 by halftime. And, yeah, need English in. Heaney, not in great form. Could probably get rid of him.
Fair enough. Did you have... Let's talk about the game. It was a very interesting game, and I don't think Essendon were expected to win at all.
No, and they did. Nick
Yeah.
Hine with the sealer.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Huddo went crazy.
Yes.
But you had Zach Merritt, who I believe went
Yeah,
crazy.
Merritt. Yep. So he made an interesting comment at the end of the game.
Oh.
He was talking about how that he said the fish rots from the head. And he said that the...
Have you heard that saying before?
I have many a time.
Someone who we both know, who has actually been a coach at local level in her chosen sport,
Yep.
had never heard of that saying before last year until I said it to her.
And she has said it many times since.
Yes, she has. Yep, she loved it that much.
She did,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
one of my favourites.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think it's so symbolic. I think it's great.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, old Mezza, he was saying the fish rots from the head, and they said that the leadership group at Essendon hasn't been standing up and putting in a good example for the younger fellas.
Yep.
And I think the right time to say that is when you have a cracker game, 3 goals, 140 SuperCoach points. But, yeah, so they said they've sort of got together and they're like they're having a bit of a go. So that lift, really got them over the line, literally.
You brought in Mossimo too, I believe.
Yeah.
He was on the bubble.
Yeah, old Moss, bloody loves it. So
Pumped out his best score.
yeah, 83, which is awesome. So that might come in handy when Rich is on the bench for me with his injury, presumably. On the Sydney side, Luke Parker, who I believe we both have.
Yep.
98, which I believe is downscaled.
And second top scorer
Yeah.
for Sydney.
Yeah. Yeah, Warner, 155. Good on him.
Jesus.
Bloody hell.
How many goals did he kick?
Oh, bloody, is that Dave Warner? 3 goals, 1.
And 25 touches.
Yeah,
Far
so
out.
he had an absolute
I've
cracker.
got a player there.
Callum Mills, is that his name?
Yeah, but I saw a few more people. So last week, people captained him for his 84. This week, I
Yep.
saw people captain him for his 85.
85. Hickey's still going all right. 84. Bloody love him. McCartan. Oh, no. Wrong McCartan. What is it? Bloody Tommy and Paddy or
Oh
whatever.
my God,
the bloody
I've got a forgotten player.
names are. Who?
Jordan Ridley.
Oh, yeah.
He
you tell me.
scored 80.
Yep.
Ridley's been disappointing this season.
Yep.
Last week, somehow he pulled out 100, and I don't know how. 80, for me, is the minimum disappointing score you can get.
Okay.
Sorry, maximum.
Maximum.
Maximum disappointing score you can get.
If you get above that, it's like,
minimum
okay.
passable is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So 80 points is better than 60.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like lots of ways to look at it. But I'm going to try my best in 4 weeks' time to still have enough money and enough trades left to do Ridley to Stewart when Stewart returns.
Yeah, well, listen, that's sort of probably a part of my plans as well. But I probably need to also look and see who the pod version of Stewart would be. I don't know if there
Pod
is
version of Stewart.
one. Yes.
Sard.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
In defence.
But goodness me, I have a lot of Carlton players. Shall I move on to the next game?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so next game. Melbourne Demons, 94. LA Crows, 65.
I think it was closer than that for most of the game.
Yeah, it was. I think up to the I don't know. I think it was the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter. It could have been anyone's, but then I think Melbourne probably just Melbourned them.
It's happened live, by the way.
What's happened?
Morris Rioli is on 20,
Yep.
nearly halftime. I have moved Connor McDonald onto my field. So I'm going to do this mathematically.
Yep.
Morris, who averages 52. I'm going to say that if he's on 20 at halftime, the best he could do really is double it.
Yep.
And I'm 40. Connor McDonald averages 45.
Okay.
Playing this on pure mathematics,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say if Morris gets 40 and Connor McDonald can get his average, then I'll 5 points up what I would have been.
There you go.
So that's what we're doing. We're holding a trade, 161K, having a decent week, projected over 2,500. So we'll just go from there, I reckon.
We'll see what happens.
Anyway, Adelaide and Melbourne.
As we were saying.
My favourite Supercoach game of the year, for one big reason. I had 3 players in this game, the lowest score being 142.
Jeez.
This is what set up my entire week, which is why I'm in the position to play a rookie at this point and not really have to worry about training Butters to another premium. If you are lucky enough to have all of Dawson, Oliver, and Petrarca, you should be better than me, really, because a lot of people should be, and you might be on track for the weekly.
Yeah, no.
Huddo doesn't have all those 3. He actually brought in Bailey Dale instead of Jordan Dawson, like he spoke about. But Dale scored 130 plus, I believe. So he's only a few points behind Dawson anyway. And he had Tuke Miller, not Petrarca. He's a couple of points down there, but he's looking all right. There is a 28-72 projected in our league, though, son.
There you go.
Which is insane.
Yeah. I was just trying to look up another fact that I picked up on from someone.
What have you got?
I think the biggest problem for, and you might be able to confirm, there you go, sitting it back up. In this particular game is Melbourne's intercept marks. I think they set a record.
Did they?
I think they set a record, but I can't find it in time because I don't know where to bloody look.
Well, that might be one for next week. But
Yeah, it might be, but talking about 2021, anyway. Who cares?
But those 3, they were the 3. But there's some other players people may have had. So if you got the scores there, maybe Rory Laird. Have you got the fan footy?
I can get those up because I am.
Because he's the interesting one that a lot of
Very
people
good at
brought
this.
in for some injured players.
Yes, again, I was going to get Laird. Laird 130.
I think he started pretty slowly though.
Jawson 144.
Oh, sorry. So it wasn't 142. 144 was my
144.
lowest score of 3.
Petrarca 189. Oliver 176. Langdon.
Yeah.
Big long sleeve Langdon 150. Stephen May 108.
Yeah, I don't
Pretty
think
good.
you'd go with May again like we did last year.
Yeah.
But,
Certainly
Paddy
wouldn't-
Parnell from
certainly wouldn't
Adelaide.
go to dinner with him, would you?
Oh, Jesus Christ. You don't do that. No.
When the check comes out, he's like, "Oh, you're paying, dickhead."
I mean, as we said, we do a beer podcast, but we shouldn't get Stephen May on a beer podcast because it'd be an MMA podcast very quickly.
It
after.
would, yeah, and he would kill us all.
Do you have Paddy Parnell score from Adelaide? A lot of people brought him in.
Yeah, I was going to. Can I find him? No. Am I on the right screen? No. I'll go to the right screen. Oh, God. Technical difficulties. Where is he? 48. And he flopped last week too, poor fella. He was looking good.
48's better than the flop that he had last week. Though,
Yes, it is. It is much better. So, no, very good. Anything else to add from this game?
No, we're just turning on the GWS Hawks game where apparently 150 mils of rain has been forecast. So.
And I don't know if that's just your screen, but it looks like, yeah, it doesn't look
there are
very-
4 people in the crowd,
Yes.
which is unsurprising.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it looks shit house.
Oh, dear.
That's a good shot. I reckon.
Tom Mitchell starting on the bench, which I, as a Hawthorn fan, wholeheartedly agree with.
Who's getting injured first? This is going to be a game of who doesn't get injured, I think. 'Cause I'm
Can I just
concerned.
point something out? Can
Yes.
you look at that for a sec? We're looking at the GWS Hawthorn players.
Yeah. They should have worn different jerseys.
Why aren't GWS wearing their charcoal jumper? Why are they wearing orange against Hawthorn's gold?
Well, is their orange their home jersey?
Well, I guess, but we could have worn something else.
Well, someone should have worn something else. That was a bit of a...
This doesn't look... It doesn't look... Like the white shorts are the only thing really separating a lot of this.
Yeah, no, that was a bit silly, I think. Well, see how we go.
Okay. The ball's stopping in the mud. Okay, off the ground. Yep, that's what we'll do. Anyway, next game... Oh, Jesus, I don't know. I have no one from Geelong and North Melbourne.
Yeah, I don't think we'll even talk about it. But Geelong, 144. North Melbourne, 32. They just suck.
Yeah.
They suck. And I think they need to go. They just need to forfeit for the rest of the season, I think, because they're fucking hopeless. But that was at Geelong's home stadium. They just gave an absolute toweling. I think the Hawk kicked 6.
Nearly brought him in, actually, for Butters.
Oh, did you?
Thought about it. Toyed with it.
I'm glad you didn't. I would have been shattered because I love the Hawk.
No, do you know why I didn't?
Cameron scored 4 goals, I think.
Yeah, actually, he was underscored.
Kicks.
If you look at his stats, he was actually underscored for SuperCoach, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
You getting that up?
Yeah, righto. Well, sorry, I will pull it up.
Yeah, that's
just
all right.
quickly. Guthrie 134, Hawkins 129, Mitch Duncan 121,
In his 250th game.
Blick Vass 118,
Look at the stats for Cameron.
Cameron
30 touches, 4 goals.
117. What happened? Did he kick a bunch of clangers?
Oh,
What
he
else do you
must have.
to
That's a
do?
170-point game I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Not much going on the other side.
No, but the next game was quite interesting for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was. Bloody Collingwood Magpies 67. Go Shan.
The scaling was the interesting part because it was a close game. So Collingwood basically didn't kick a goal for like a whole quarter leading into the end of the game, into about the last probably 7 or 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. In that time, all the Gold Coast players started getting scores. And the Collingwood players were sort of stagnating a little bit, except for Dacos, which was incredible for those that held him. But a good example of the scores in this was that Jack Crisp, who finished on, who most people have, I don't, but
79.
79. He was on 35 during the third quarter, late in the third quarter.
Bloody lucky he scored 79.
He got a lot of the ball in the last quarter, but he turned it over a fair bit. And in the end, because Collingwood won, I think some of his turnover, well, not direct turnover, he had one kick where it went off the side of his boot and it bounced over someone's head and a Collingwood player grabbed it and then got tackled. Which I think he got marked down for it.
Yeah, right.
Because Collingwood won in the scaling. The scaling, though, that ruined it for all of us was Jared Witt, who scored 63.
Yeah, poor bugger.
Did you know what his score was when the game finished?
I do not.
75. He got
That's a bit-
minus 12.
What happened? What did he do?
Because
did he punch someone on the way?
a close game that Collingwood won, so all the scaling points went more towards the winning side.
Jesus, well.
So, yeah, it was very, very disappointing with that.
So who did you have?
Just Witt.
Just Witt. So I had Took Miller, 153, which is
there,
good.
that is.
Took there, that is. Rowell, 113. I don't have, but I did have. Witt, 63. That's pretty much all I had. But yeah, I didn't need to trade Dacos, but I wanted to get on the front foot with Steele before his price went up, which I might have been able to wait a week on. I'm not too sure. As we all know, I don't really know how it works.
You do.
Hey, all right. Well, that's sort of all we got.
It sort of leads us to the scores have already up. Well, it's half time in Richmond and West Coast. So what
Yeah.
have we got there?
Richmond Tigers, 70. West Coast Eagles, 36.
So what's our mate Jaden Short on, who most people would probably have?
Go and have a look here. Let's have a bloody look. 49.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, if you could double that, it'd be my third 98.
yeah, that would be good. But can he?
Yeah, he can. He can do that.
What about Rhett Bazzo? Rhett Bazzo's on 16.
Okay.
I'm having a bit of a go down there.
Morris Rioli, who I've passed on for Connor McDonald in the wet. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Oh, what's happened there? Has he been downscaled or
Yeah,
did
he
that
got
change?
downscaled even after his goal.
20.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he made the right decision, I think.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we're doing pretty well. I think we're all on track. All three of us in the pod are on track for some pretty good scores this week. So we'll see how it ends up at the end. We'll update those potentially on the socials and everything else.
What's your projection?
So I don't have it on me as it is.
Can I look at?
You can look at it, but it actually won't have all the right details on yours.
Okay, fair
Because I've got Darcy as emergency and Teakle as captain at the moment.
enough. Okay.
But I can tell you that my actual projection when I've added it up is over 2,500.
Okay, I've got 2,395 so far.
So
So
we'll see. But I've got 4 players, Sicily, Canelio, Kelly and McDonald in this Hawthorn game. in the wet, underwater. So we'll sort of see how that goes.
Yeah, very good.
That'll separate the boys from the men.
All right. Is that all you got?
I reckon that's all I've got.
All right.
I think you should all kick a big barrel and drink a nice beer.
Yes, and we're about to do one of those because a little off track. Went to we didn't know we were going to a trivia night, but
impromptu.
we went to a trivia night and won a $20 voucher, Springdale Heights Tavern, and we're going to go there and drink a nice beer.
Yeah, we got a couple of bucks. That'll be
Yeah,
all right.
so we're going to do that right now.
Anyway,
See ya.
enjoy.